Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a deep dive into some pretty intriguing ideas about consciousness, reality, and spirituality. Looks like we have some material on Ramtha and the Law of One, two very different approaches to similar themes.
Yeah, that's right. From what I see here, Ramtha refers to the teachings channeled through JZ Knight, and the Law of One material comes from a channeled source called Ra. They both get into the nature of consciousness and how it can shape reality.
Now, right off the bat, I'm struck by Ramtha's story. He claims to be a 35,000-year-old warrior.
Hmm.
And he even says that he conquered a continent called Atlasia. It's wild. He's got battles, a magical sword, even ties into the history of the Americas. It's like something straight out of a fantasy novel. Does that kind of backstory make it harder to take the teaching seriously?
Well, it certainly grabs your attention, doesn't it? It's a bold claim for
Hmm.
sure. While we can't really verify, those details historically, I think the bigger question is, do the teachings resonate with you? A lot of spiritual traditions use stories and metaphors to convey deeper truths.
Right.
Kind of like, think of it as a Trojan horse. The
That's it.
story, it gets your attention, and then the teachings sneak in and get you thinking.
I like that. A Trojan horse for wisdom. Okay, so let's get to those teachings. What are some of the core concepts that Ramtha emphasizes?
Well, Ramtha's central message is that consciousness and energy create reality. He really dives into how our thoughts, fueled by consciousness and energy, how they directly impact the physical world. And he suggests that we're not just passive observers, but active participants in shaping our reality.
So it's kind of like we're all walking around with these invisible wands of consciousness, shaping our lives with every thought and belief.
That's a great analogy. And what's interesting is that he doesn't shy away from connecting these um, ancient ideas, to modern scientific concepts like quantum mechanics. He even draws parallels to the observer effect, where the act of observation influences what is being observed.
Yeah, that's pretty mind-blowing. It makes you wonder if we've been underestimating the power of our own minds all along. Now, from what I've read, the Law of One also explores these ideas,
Yeah.
but it seems to take a more philosophical and maybe even cosmic approach.
You're absolutely right. The Law of One, it presents a broader framework. It discusses things like densities of consciousness, essentially different levels of awareness and vibration that permeate the universe. It also introduces the concept of the logos, which can be understood as a creator deity, a source of all creation.
So while both sources touch on this power of consciousness, they frame it in very different ways. One is more focused on individual empowerment and shaping personal reality, while the other offers this, cosmic zoom out. Like it places humanity within a larger universal evolution.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes studying these two sources together so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like looking through two different lenses at the same reality.
Now let's get into some specifics. Ramtha talks about these grids that we can use to manipulate energy to manifest our desires. Can you explain what these grids are and how they supposedly work?
Well, Ramtha describes the grids as a network of energy. It surrounds us. It's kind of like an invisible matrix that connects everything in the universe.
Yeah.
And he suggests that we can tap into this energy field through our thoughts and emotions,
Mhm.
and use specific techniques to direct energy and create desired outcomes in our lives.
So it's like we're learning to become energy conductors, channeling this universal power to shape our reality.
That's a good way to put it. And while it might sound like science fiction, think about how we already use energy in so many ways: electricity, magnetism, even the energy of our own bodies. Maybe these grids are simply another level of energy that we're just beginning to understand.
Now, I know the Law of One doesn't talk about grids specifically, but it does delve into this concept of polarity, the idea that there are positive and negative forces at play in the universe. How does this concept relate to this idea of consciousness creating reality?
Well, the law of one suggests that everything in the universe, it has this polarity, a kind of yin and yang, and this polarity creates a dynamic tension that allows for growth and evolution. In terms of consciousness creating reality, they argue that our thoughts and actions are influenced by this polarity, and that we have a choice to align with either service to others or service to self.
So it's not just about what we want to create, but also about the intention behind our creations. Are we motivated by love and compassion,
Mm.
or by fear and selfishness? It's a subtle but powerful distinction.
Exactly. And and this brings us to another fascinating aspect of Ramtha's teachings, his description of the afterlife. He paints a very vivid picture of what happens after death. It involves traveling down this shaft of light and choosing from four potential future lives.
Yeah, that part really stuck with me. He calls these future lives seals, and he says they're like energy imprints that contain the potential for different experiences. It's like we're choosing our own destiny, even in the afterlife. What does the law of one say about the afterlife?
Well, the Law of One also describes this process of reviewing our lives after death, but it's less focused on individual choice and more about harvesting. They suggest that souls are guided to different densities based on their spiritual evolution and whether their actions have been predominantly service to others or service to self.
So one emphasizes personal choice, the other highlights a kind of cosmic sorting hat. But they both agree that what we do here matters. It's not just a one and done existence.
Absolutely. And that's a powerful message that both sources seem to be conveying. Our choices have consequences that extend beyond this physical lifetime.
Okay, I'm curious to hear more about this concept of densities that the law of one talks about. What what exactly are these densities, and how do they relate to our spiritual evolution?
Well, think of densities as different levels of awareness or
Oh.
vibration, kind of like rungs on a ladder of consciousness. Each density has its own unique set of laws and principles, and as souls evolve, they progress through these densities by refining their consciousness, and aligning with the vibrations of love and light.
So it's not like we're physically traveling to different planets or realms, but rather shifting our vibrational frequency and
Mm,
expanding our awareness.
exactly. And the Law of One suggests that Earth is currently transitioning into fourth density, a density that's characterized by greater compassion, understanding, and interconnectedness.
Now that brings up a question for me. If both sources agree that we have this power to shape reality with our consciousness, how do they explain things like, suffering, injustice, things that just seem completely out of our control?
That's a really important question, and it's one that both Ramtha and the Law of One they grapple with. One key point they both emphasize is the concept of free will. Even though we are all part of this interconnected web of consciousness, we also have individual choice, and sometimes those choices lead to suffering or conflict.
So it's like we're all playing in the same sandbox, but we each have our own set of toys and our own choices about how to use them.
That's a good way to visualize it. And sometimes those choices clash, creating, disharmony or even pain. But the key takeaway is that even in the midst of suffering, we still have choice. The choice about how we respond, how we learn, and how we move forward.
This is already giving me so much to think about, and we've only just scratched the surface. What else can you tell us about how these two sources approach the idea of spiritual growth
Yeah.
and the path to enlightenment?
That's where things get even more interesting, and that's where we'll pick up next time.
Okay, I'm definitely hooked. Welcome back to the deep dive. Before the break, we were just starting to explore how Ramtha and the Law of One approach this idea of spiritual growth and the path to enlightenment.
Right, and this is where we see some fascinating similarities and some differences. They both emphasize the importance of inner work, things like meditation, contemplation, self-reflection, but they frame these practices within their own, unique perspectives.
So Ramtha, with his emphasis on personal empowerment, probably offers some pretty hands-on techniques, right?
Absolutely. He talks about these C and E exercises, which stands for consciousness and energy. These exercises they involve using our focused attention and visualization to direct energy and create desired outcomes in our lives. It's kind of like a workout for your consciousness.
Like a cosmic gym for the mind. That sounds pretty empowering. What about the Law of One? What does Ra have to say about spiritual practices?
Well, the Law of One takes a more holistic approach. It stresses the importance of cultivating love, compassion, and forgiveness. They also highlight the principle of service to others, and they suggest that aligning our actions with this principle actually accelerates our spiritual growth.
So Ramtha is about flexing our consciousness muscles, while Ra emphasizes the heart and connection with others. They both seem to be saying that our inner world and our outer actions are kind of intertwined.
Exactly, and I think that's a really important point. It's not just about sitting on a meditation cushion or
Right.
chanting mantras.
Yeah.
It's about how we live our lives, how we treat others, and the choices we make every single day.
Now, I know both sources touch on this idea of karma, but it seems like they might use the term in slightly different ways. Can you unpack that for us?
Sure. Ramtha seems to use the term karma more broadly, focusing on the natural consequences of our actions. He doesn't necessarily subscribe to the idea of karma as like a rigid system of um, cause and effect, across multiple lifetimes. He emphasizes taking responsibility for our choices and understanding that our actions kind of ripple outward, they impact others, and they create the conditions for our future experiences.
So it's more about understanding that our choices matter, and that we're creating our own reality, both individually and collectively, rather than being bound by some predetermined fate.
Exactly. The law of one, on the other hand, acknowledges a more complex karmic system that operates across lifetimes. They suggest that we carry with us the energetic imprints of our past actions, both positive and negative, and that these imprints influence our present experiences and relationships.
So it's like we're carrying around a backpack of karmic baggage, but we still have the power to choose how we deal with it.
That's a great analogy. The law of one emphasizes that free will is always paramount. We're not just puppets of fate. But we do have to grapple with the consequences of our past choices, and they suggest that understanding these karmic patterns can help us to make more conscious choices in the present, ultimately leading to greater spiritual growth and liberation.
So it's not about getting punished or rewarded for past deeds, but about learning from those experiences and using them as catalysts for evolution.
Precisely, and this brings us back to that central theme of consciousness creating reality. Both Ramtha and the Law of One, they seem to be saying that by understanding these deeper principles, we can become more conscious creators of our experience. It's about moving beyond a victim mentality and embracing our power to shape our destiny.
It's a really empowering message. It makes you wonder what the world would be like if everyone started living with this kind of awareness
Yeah.
and intentionality.
It's an inspiring thought, isn't it? And it brings up another fascinating concept that the Law of One explores. This idea of social memory complexes.
Right. I remember reading about that. Can you explain what a social memory complex is
Yeah.
and how it relates to this idea of consciousness creating reality on a collective level?
Sure. A social memory complex is essentially a collective consciousness. It's formed when a group of beings merge their individual consciousnesses into a unified entity. The Law of One suggests that this is, a natural progression for civilizations that evolve toward higher densities. As they learn to transcend their individual identities and embrace unity.
So it's like a hive mind,
Yeah.
but in a positive sense.
Yeah.
A group of individuals coming together to form a higher collective consciousness.
Exactly. And they suggest that this kind of unity is essential for progressing to higher densities of consciousness,
Hmm.
where love and compassion are the dominant forces.
That makes you think about the potential for humanity as a whole. Are we moving towards greater unity or further division? Are we becoming more aware of our interconnectedness? Or are we getting lost in our own individual dramas?
Those are some big questions, and I think both Ramtha and the Law of One would say that the answer ultimately lies within each one of us. The choice to align with love or fear, to embrace unity or separation. That choice plays out not only in our individual lives, but on a collective level as well.
It's both inspiring and a little daunting to think about the power we hold, both individually and collectively, to shape the future.
Absolutely, and that's where spiritual practice comes in. Cultivating that inner awareness, that connection to our higher selves, and that commitment to aligning with love and service to others. Those choices multiplied across millions of individuals. They have the power to shift the trajectory of human evolution.
It's a reminder that we're not just passive bystanders in this cosmic drama.
Yeah.
We're all active participants, and our choices matter.
And perhaps by embracing this understanding, by choosing to live with greater awareness and intentionality, we can contribute to the creation of a world that reflects the beauty, love, and harmony that lie at the heart of all creation.
Speaking of creation, Ramtha has some pretty fascinating things to say about the nature of reality, particularly his assertion that consciousness and energy create reality.
Right. And he goes even deeper, describing the process of how thoughts fueled by consciousness and energy, how they actually manifest in the physical world.
Can you elaborate on that a bit? How does he explain that process of manifestation?
Well, Ramtha uses a lot of metaphors and analogies, which can be a little tricky to unpack.
Yeah.
But essentially, he's saying that our thoughts are like seeds that we plant in the fertile ground of consciousness, and these seeds are energized by our emotions, our beliefs, and they eventually sprout and grow into the experiences that we have in the physical world.
So it's like our minds are these powerful gardens, and we're constantly planting seeds with every thought and belief.
That's a great analogy. And what's interesting is that Ramtha doesn't shy away from connecting these ancient ideas to modern scientific concepts like quantum mechanics. He even draws parallels to things like the observer effect, where the act of observation influences what is being observed.
It's pretty mind-blowing to think that our minds might have that kind of power. But if our thoughts are so powerful, why don't we always get what we want? Why do some thoughts seem to manifest easily while others never seem to take root?
That's a great question, and it's something that Ramtha addresses in his teachings. He suggests that there are a few key factors that influence the manifestation process. One is the clarity and intensity of our focus.
Mhm.
The more clear and focused our intention, the more likely it is to manifest.
So it's not just about wishing for something, but about cultivating a laser-like focus on what we truly desire.
Exactly. And the second factor is our emotional state. Ramtha emphasizes that our emotions act like amplifiers. They add power to our thoughts. If we're feeling doubtful, fearful, or insecure, those emotions they'll weaken our creative power.
It's like we're sending mixed signals to the universe, which can lead to confusing or even unwanted results.
Exactly. And the third factor, and perhaps the most challenging one, is our subconscious beliefs. Ramtha suggests that we often hold subconscious beliefs that conflict with our conscious desires, and these beliefs can sabotage our efforts to manifest what we truly want.
So even if we're consciously affirming and visualizing our desires, we might have these hidden programs running in the background that are working against us.
That's exactly right. And that's why Ramtha emphasizes the importance of identifying and transforming those limiting beliefs. He suggests that this is where techniques like C&E exercises and working with the grids can be particularly helpful.
It's like we're doing deep inner work to clear out the weeds in our mental garden so that our desired seeds can flourish.
That's a great way to put it. And it's a process that requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to confront those hidden aspects of ourselves that might be holding us back.
This whole idea of consciousness creating reality is so fascinating and so empowering. It makes you wonder what we're truly capable of achieving if we can master these principles.
It's a mind-blowing concept, isn't it? And it challenges us to look beyond our limiting beliefs about what's possible and to step into a greater sense of agency and creative power.
It's almost like we're being invited to become conscious architects of our own lives,
Yeah.
co-creating our reality with the universe itself.
Exactly. And that brings us to another fascinating concept that both Ramtha and the Law of One explore, this idea of densities of consciousness.
Right. We touched on that earlier, but I'd love to dive a little deeper. Can you remind us what these densities are and how they relate to this idea of consciousness creating reality?
Sure. Think of densities as different levels of awareness or vibration, kind of like rungs on a ladder of consciousness.
Hmm.
Each density has its own unique set of laws and principles, and as souls evolve, they progress through these densities by refining their consciousness and aligning with the vibrations of love and light.
So it's not like we're physically traveling to different planets or realms, but rather shifting our vibrational frequency and
Mhm.
expanding our awareness.
Exactly. And the law of one suggests that Earth is currently transitioning into fourth density, a density that's characterized by greater compassion, understanding, and interconnectedness.
So as our planet is shifting into this new density, does that mean that we as individuals are automatically evolving along with it?
That's a great question. And both Ramtha and the Law of One emphasize that evolution is ultimately a matter of choice. You
Okay.
know, the energies of fourth density, they're becoming more accessible, but it's up to each individual to choose to align with those vibrations.
So it's like we're being offered an invitation to step up to a higher level of consciousness, but it's our choice whether to accept that invitation.
Exactly. And the law of one suggests that those who choose to align with love and service to others will naturally transition into fourth density, while those who remain focused on, fear, separation, and self-service will continue to experience the lessons of third density.
It sounds like a cosmic sorting hat, and it makes you wonder what life will be like in fourth density. Does either source offer any clues about what to expect?
Well, the law of one suggests that fourth density is characterized by a greater sense of unity and interconnectedness. They say that time and space are experienced differently. They become more fluid and malleable. Communication is telepathic, and there's a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all life.
It sounds pretty amazing, like a major upgrade from our current reality. Does Ramtha offer any insights into what fourth density might be like?
Well, Ramtha doesn't use the same terminology of densities, but he does talk about achieving a state of enlightenment where we become, immortal beings, no longer limited by time or space.
It's like he's describing a similar state of expanded awareness and liberation, but using different language.
Exactly, and I think that highlights the beauty of studying these two sources together. You know, they offer different perspectives, different languages, but ultimately they seem to be pointing toward a similar understanding of the nature of reality, the potential for human evolution, and the power of consciousness to create a more loving and harmonious world.
It's a reminder that there are many paths to the mountaintop,
Mm.
and that even though these teachings may use different maps and compasses, they're ultimately guiding us toward the same destination, a higher state of consciousness,
Yeah.
a deeper connection to our true selves, and a greater experience of love, wisdom, and unity.
And perhaps by exploring these different paths, by listening with an open mind and heart to the wisdom that resonates with us, we can find our own unique way to navigate this journey of spiritual growth and contribute to the creation of a world that reflects the beauty, love, and harmony that lie at the heart of all creation.
It's an inspiring thought. It reminds us that we're not alone on this journey, that we're all part of a grand cosmic adventure, and that by supporting and encouraging one another, we can create a world that reflects the love, wisdom, and harmony that lie at the heart of all creation.
And perhaps by embracing this understanding, we can move beyond the illusions of separation and embrace the unity that connects us all, recognizing that we are all part of the same divine source, each playing our unique role in the grand unfolding of the cosmos.
It's a vision of a world where we celebrate our diversity, honor our differences, and recognize the inherent worth and dignity of every being.
And perhaps by cultivating these qualities within ourselves, by radiating love and compassion outward, we can contribute to the creation of a world where peace, understanding, and harmony prevail.
It's a beautiful vision. It reminds us that we are not simply passive observers,
Hmm.
but active participants in the unfolding of the cosmos, and that our choices and actions matter.
And perhaps by aligning ourselves with the principles of love, compassion, and service to others, we can contribute to the creation of a world that reflects the highest aspirations of the human spirit.
It's a message of hope and inspiration, reminding us that even in the midst of chaos and uncertainty, there is always a potential for transformation and renewal.
And perhaps by embracing the challenges of our time, by seeking to understand the deeper meaning behind the events that unfold around us, we can discover opportunities for growth and evolution that we might otherwise overlook.
It's a reminder that even the darkest of times can serve as catalysts for awakening,
Yeah.
and that by facing our fears and embracing the unknown, we can tap into a source of strength and resilience that can guide us through any storm.
And perhaps by cultivating an attitude of curiosity, compassion, and gratitude, we can transform even the most difficult experiences into opportunities for learning and growth.
It's a reminder that the journey itself is the destination,
Yeah.
and that each step we take, each choice we make, contributes to the grand unfolding of our individual and collective evolution.
And perhaps by embracing this journey with an open heart and mind, we can discover the true meaning of our existence and contribute to the creation of a world that reflects the beauty, love, and harmony that lie at the heart of all creation.
That's a beautiful vision. It inspires us to become active participants in the unfolding of the cosmos, to embrace our role as co-creators,
Mm.
and to contribute to the evolution of consciousness itself. But let's shift gears a bit and explore those intriguing details about Ramtha's description of the void. He describes it as a state of pure potentiality, the source from which all creation arises. He even uses the phrase, "the void is God." What are your thoughts on this concept?
It's a fascinating concept that resonates with various spiritual traditions. The idea of a primordial emptiness or nothingness that precedes all
It's a
manifestation.
bit mind bending to wrap your head around.
Absolutely, it challenges our typical way of thinking about God as a separate being or entity. Ramtha seems to be suggesting that the divine is not something outside of ourselves, but is the very ground of being the source from which everything arises.
It's like saying that we are all expressions of this void, this fundamental creative force that is both everything and nothing at the same time.
Exactly, and he also links the void to the concept of the unknown God, suggesting that this is the ultimate mystery, the source of all that is, was, and ever will be.
It sounds like he's inviting us to explore the depths of our own being, to go beyond the limitations of our rational mind, and to connect with this source of infinite potential that resides within us.
That's a great way to put it. And he also suggests that by tapping into the void, by aligning ourselves with this creative power, we can manifest our desires with greater ease and effectiveness.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts, but about connecting with the source of all creation, aligning ourselves with that divine energy, and allowing it to flow through us.
Precisely, and that's a concept that resonates with many spiritual traditions. This idea of surrendering to a higher power, of letting go of our ego's control,
Right.
and allowing ourselves to be guided by a wisdom that is greater than ourselves.
It's a beautiful and humbling thought. It reminds us that we're not alone in this journey. That we're supported by a force that is beyond our comprehension, and that by surrendering to that force, we can access a power and a wisdom that far surpasses our own.
And perhaps by embracing this understanding, by cultivating a sense of awe and reverence for the mystery of creation, we can tap into a source of inspiration, guidance, and strength that can carry us through any challenge, and empower us to create a more beautiful and meaningful life for ourselves and for the world.
That's a powerful message. It reminds us that we are all part of something much greater than ourselves, and that by aligning with greater force, we can achieve anything we set our minds to. But let's shift gears a bit and explore those fascinating details about Ramtha's teachings on the blue body. He describes it as the invisible skeletal structure of the physical realm, vibrating at the level of ultraviolet frequency. What do you make of this concept?
It's a fascinating blend of ancient esoteric teachings and modern scientific concepts. He's essentially describing a subtle energy body that underlies our physical form, suggesting that there are layers of reality that extend beyond our typical sensory perception.
It's like we're carrying around an invisible blueprint that informs and shapes our physical reality. What's also intriguing is that Ramtha links the blue body to the concept of analogical mind, which he describes as the alignment of primary consciousness and secondary consciousness, the observer and the personality.
It suggests that there's a potential for a deeper integration of our uh, conscious and subconscious minds, a state of wholeness where we can access the full spectrum of our being.
It's like we're bridging the gap between our rational thinking mind
Mhm.
and our intuitive feeling self, creating a more harmonious and balanced state of being.
Precisely, and Ramtha suggests that when we achieve this alignment, we create a powerful vortex that allows our thoughts to manifest more easily in the physical world.
So it's not just about having positive thoughts, but about aligning our entire being with our intentions, creating a powerful energetic force that can shape our reality.
Exactly. And he also suggests that the blue body plays a crucial role in healing, both for ourselves and for others.
I'm curious to learn more about how the blue body can be used for healing.
Yeah.
What are some of the techniques or practices that Ramtha describes?
Well, Ramtha offers a variety of techniques, including visualizations, energy work, and working with the grids, a specific energetic structure that he describes as a tool for amplifying and directing healing energy.
It's fascinating how he blends these esoteric practices with modern scientific concepts, suggesting that there is a potential for a more holistic approach to healing that integrates both the physical and energetic aspects of our being.
And perhaps by understanding the dynamics of the blue body, we can unlock hidden potentials for self healing and transformation, accessing a deeper source of vitality and well being.
It's a reminder that we are not simply victims of our genes or our circumstances, but have the power to influence our own health and well-being through our thoughts, our beliefs, and energetic practices.
And perhaps by embracing a more holistic view of health, we can move beyond simply treating symptoms and address the root causes of illness, creating a more sustainable and vibrant state of well-being.
It's a vision of a world where we recognize the interconnectedness of our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being,
Hmm.
and where we empower ourselves to become active participants in our own healing journey.
And perhaps by doing so, we can create a ripple effect that extends outward, inspiring others to embrace their own healing potential and to contribute to the creation of a world that reflects the vitality, joy, and well-being that are our birthright.
That's a beautiful vision. It inspires us to embrace our journey of self-discovery, to
Yeah.
explore the depths of our own being, and to unlock the hidden potentials for healing and transformation that lie within.
And perhaps by doing so, we can contribute to the creation of a world where health and well-being are not simply the absence of disease, but are expressions of our true nature as divine beings, radiating vitality, joy, and love.
It's a message of hope and empowerment, reminding us that we have the power to shape our own reality and to co-create a world that reflects the highest aspirations of the human spirit. But let's shift gears a bit and explore those intriguing details about Ramtha's description Alatia and the events that led to its downfall. He paints a vivid picture of a technologically advanced civilization that possessed great knowledge and power, but ultimately succumbed to its own arrogance and destructive tendencies. It's a cautionary tale that highlights the potential pitfalls of unchecked technological advancement and the importance of balancing material progress with spiritual wisdom and ethical considerations. It's a reminder that true progress requires a holistic approach, integrating both the material and immaterial aspects of reality, honoring both the scientific and the spiritual.
Precisely, and perhaps by studying the mistakes of past civilizations, we can gain valuable insights into the challenges we face today, and avoid repeating the same patterns of destruction.
It's like we're being offered a glimpse into the past, not just as a historical record, but as a mirror to reflect on our present and to make more conscious choices about the future we want to create.
And perhaps by learning from the wisdom of the past, we can create a future that is more sustainable, equitable, and aligned with the principles of love, compassion, and unity.
It's a vision of a world where technology serves humanity, where we live in harmony with nature, and where we recognize our interconnectedness and our responsibility to care for one another and for the planet.
And perhaps by embracing this vision, by aligning our actions with our highest aspirations, we can contribute to the creation of a world that reflects the beauty, love, and harmony that lie at the heart of all creation.
That's a beautiful vision. It inspires us to become conscious creators of our own destiny, to become conscious creators of our own destiny, to learn from the wisdom of the past, and to co-create a future that reflects our highest aspirations for ourselves and for humanity as a whole.
And perhaps that's the ultimate gift of these teachings, to awaken our curiosity, to challenge our assumptions, and to embark on a lifelong journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth.
It's a call to become explorers of consciousness, to delve into the mysteries of our own being, and to discover the infinite potential that lies within.
And perhaps by embracing this journey, we can contribute to the evolution of consciousness itself, creating a world that reflects the love, wisdom, and harmony that are our birthright.
It's a message of hope and empowerment, reminding us that we're not simply passive observers, but active participants in the grand unfolding of the cosmos. But let's shift gears a bit and explore those intriguing details about Ramtha's description of the Kundalini energy. He describes it as the rocket fuel to enlightenment, a powerful force that resides at the base of the spine and can be activated to propel us toward higher states of consciousness.
It's a concept that has been explored in various spiritual traditions for centuries, often associated with awakening dormant psychic abilities and achieving the spiritual liberation.
It's a fascinating and somewhat mysterious concept. What else can you tell us about the Kundalini energy? How is it activated, and what are some of the experiences or challenges associated with its awakening?
Well, Ramtha describes the Kundalini as a primal energy that is encoded within our being, representing the potential for enlightenment. He suggests that it can be activated through various practices, including meditation, energy work, and working with the chakras.
It's interesting how he links the Kundalini to the concept of the void, describing it as the mother-father principle that gives rise to all creation.
Yeah, it suggests that the Kundalini is not simply a personal energy, but is connected to a universal source of power and creativity.
It's like we're tapping into a cosmic wellspring of energy,
Hmm.
accessing a power that is both within us and beyond us.
Precisely. And Ramtha also emphasizes the importance of preparation and guidance when working with the Kundalini, suggesting that its awakening can be a powerful and sometimes challenging experience.
What are some of the challenges that people might face when the Kundalini awakens?
Well, Ramtha describes the Kundalini as a powerful force that can sometimes trigger intense emotional releases, physical sensations, and even psychic experiences. He suggests that it's important to approach these experiences with awareness and to seek guidance from experienced teachers or practitioners.
So it's not just about activating this energy, but about learning to manage it and integrate it into our lives in a balanced and healthy way.
Exactly, and he also emphasizes the importance of grounding and integrating the Kundalini energy into our physical bodies and daily lives, suggesting that true enlightenment is not about escaping from the world, but about embodying the divine in all aspects of our
It's
being.
about bringing heaven down to earth, so to speak.
Precisely, and perhaps by learning to harness the power of the Kundalini, we can accelerate our spiritual evolution, access hidden potentials, and contribute to the creation of a more enlightened and harmonious world.
It's a vision of a world where we embrace our full potential as divine beings, where we live in harmony with ourselves, with each other, and with the planet.
And perhaps by cultivating our spiritual awareness, by seeking to understand the mysteries of the universe and the power that resides within us, we can create a future that reflects the love, wisdom, and harmony that are our birthright.
That's a beautiful vision. It inspires us to embrace our journey of spiritual growth, to seek a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe, and to contribute to the evolution of consciousness itself. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into Ramtha and the Law of One for today. It's been a fascinating exploration of consciousness, reality, and spirituality, and I hope you've all gained some valuable insights and inspiration from our conversation. A big thank you to our expert for sharing their knowledge and insights with us, and to all of you for listening. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep expanding your awareness.